All right, good morning. I hope everybody is having a great Monday. This is the last Monday in July. I can't believe it. Time has gone by so extremely fast. It is incredible. Next Monday is going to be August. As you can see, I am not in my office. Um, for a couple days this week, I am at a conference. It is called the Conference of State Legislators, and I am in Canada. And we have a great message from the chair of the MLC. That's what they call the General Assemblies here in Canada. And so, if you could see that, I'm in Saskatoon, Canada. So that is exactly where I'm at for these next couple days. Um, this is our professional development on the state level. The Conference of State Governments have been around a long time. And yesterday there were sessions about telehealth, rural areas, looking at what Canada does for their rural areas, how we can bring that back to Illinois. I'm here with several of my colleagues, both senators and Republicans. Also, yesterday was a session on nuclear energy. And then have a couple sessions this week. So, just wanted to report from you from Canada. It's interesting. Fun fact in Canada, I was in my room and I wanted to stream Hulu, and apparently there's no Hulu here in Canada. I don't I don't know why, but I got a message that says you are not by some order or something. This is not streamed here in Canada. What I have, I did grab a travel mug. I picked up a United States Marine Corps mug at Marine Week. So here it is. And that's what I have for this week is my travel mug. With that, I'll give you some tidbits and updates from what's going on in Springfield and in Illinois. But first, of course, we've had quite the week. Um, Ozzy Osbourne passed away. I went down south, not this last time, but the eclipse before that, went down south to southern Illinois to watch the full eclipse. It was incredible. The sun was out, then the moon blocked it, and the cicadas came up, and then it passed. And they had Ozzy Osbourne that performed down there. Ozzy Osbourne passed away, Hulk Hogan passed away, and Malcolm Warner passed away. Theo from my childhood and everybody's childhood passed away from drowning. Again, and I was just talking with some colleagues last night about drowning and water safety. And it's very, very important that we are safe around the water. A riptide can come and take you out to sea, and it won't be good. So please, during these hot times when we want to go out and jump in the water and jump in the pool and enjoy the outdoors, make sure that you are safe in the water. Make sure that you're wearing a life jacket if you're going to go out in the lake or in the ocean. If you're going to say, "Oh, I'm just going to go a little bit into the beach area and walk a little bit into the water," the riptide can take you out. So certainly want to make sure that everybody's safe in the water. Uh, so on July 27th was Korean Armistice Day. It commemorates the signing of the Armistice Agreement that ended the Korean War in 1953, marking a significant moment in history for both Korea and the world. Now, this is an armistice agreement, which is, a ceasefire. The Korean War technically is still going because there was never a peace agreement, never a formal ceasefire. It was just an armistice agreement. There's a technicality of whether the Korean War is still going on or not. We do have the DMZ zone there, but fighting ended with the Korean War in 1953. And that leads us to over the weekend. Now, unfortunately, I was traveling here to my conference, and I was not able to make the unveiling of the Sergeant First Class Ogden Thompson Memorial Highway. Certainly that was on Saturday. A large group of the community gathered to pay tribute. And this is what I think is so very important. There's still family there that remembers him. In fact, his brother showed up. They came from all over the United States. It was supposed to be held at Cool Acres Park. It was moved because of the rain, but everybody really appreciated the official designation of the stretch of Illinois Route 25 from Sullivan Road to Ashland Avenue in Aurora as the SFC Odin and Thompson Memorial Highway. He was a U.S. Army soldier. Aurora native went missing in action during the Korean War and was never recovered. So now his bravery and his sacrifice is forever permanently honored in the community. So certainly everybody that drives by will remember him. We shall never remember. A special thank you to Rolling Thunder One and Gold Star Father Bob Patterson for doing this wonderful thing. The Christopher Patterson Memorial Foundation was helped make this possible as well. And so certainly it was a wonderful event. And if you did not read the article in Denise Crosby's um, writings, she's always does such a great job. Please check it out at the Beacon News. And the Tribune. So really a great article. So today is July 28th is World Nature Conservation Day. So World Nature Conservation Day, annual event held on July 28th, stressed the need for preserving a healthy environment and natural resources to maintain stable and healthy society. So certainly you can look at the Conservation Foundation. They're based right here in Naperville. We've done a lot with them. So DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Will counties, they look to preserve open spaces and watersheds. And you can go to their website. If you don't know what to plant in your garden, they have plans that you can download, plants you can buy, and certainly you can work with regards to working with them. And then you got open lands. They're the Chicago Wilderness Alliance. So they are looking more at the Chicago metro area for tree planting with regards to that. And then today, July 28th, is National Milk Chocolate Day. And actually, I'm putting a box for my son, and milk chocolate, actually fudge, milk chocolate, flavored fudge goes in there because if you're going to ship chocolate overseas, make sure it's fudge because it won't melt in the boxes. But today, July 28th, National Milk Chocolate Day. When chocolate is combined with either powdered liquid or condensed milk, is known as milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is the most popular member of the chocolate family, and with good reason. It's creamy, smooth, and mostly used in candy bars. It's believed that in the mid 1800s, milk chocolate was first created as a beverage in Germany. The first milk chocolate in the form of a bar that we eat today was created by Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter while collaborating with Henry Nestle. If you've seen the name Nestle when you're driving down I-88, that is where it comes from. Henry Nestle, the founder of Nestle Chocolate Company. So certainly go appreciate all things milk chocolate. And then Wednesday, July 30th, International Day of Friendship. So International Day of Friendship was first designated by the United Nations in 2011, serves as a reminder to all the importance of friendship, including the friendships right here in our district and everybody that I have known throughout my time as an alderman, going way back to when I first started campaigning. An individual, ironically named, I believe Henry, was a tinsmith. He was a senior citizen in my district, and he told to me all about when he was a tinsmith. Now, we don't really have those tinsmiths around today employed, but certainly I appreciate everybody that can call my friends. Everybody that's watching today, I am a little bit limited here in my capabilities, but I certainly have a little bit to see who's on. And Roger, my good friend Roger, he actually, I saw a picture of him at the street dedication. So, Roger, thank you for joining us today. And Bob Dunn, thank you so much for joining us today as well. So International Day of Friendship. Speaking of a good friend, parlaying right into that. The downtown Chicago building was renamed after longtime Illinois Secretary of State Jesse White. I am thrilled to call Jesse White a friend of mine as the Secretary of State and an Army veteran. As he would say, he's jumped out of perfectly good planes. His name is now on the downtown State of Illinois building. Um, and so when you drive by it, we'll remember Jesse White. He was the Secretary of State for a very, very long time. He played baseball. He served in an elected official on the state level, and certainly I just enjoy always meeting him. And now he is in his retirement age. So I think he's enjoying retirement quite a bit. Um, Also, there was some, if you didn't see the article, the news article about the state law that, so there is a bill was introduced in Congress last week that would exempt popes with U.S. citizenship from federal tax obligation and prevent their citizenship from being revoked during their tenure as the Supreme Pontiff. So this comes, of course, on the news that Pope Leo is the first American pope. It was introduced by on July 18th by Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd of Colorado. So of course he notes, and it is that the election of Pope Leo marks the historic moment, not only for those who are Catholic, but also just because he's a Sox fan. But you know, when you looked at, unfortunately, the Sox did not prevail. But anyhow, so that was introduced. He is a native of Chicago. At the time of his election, he held dual citizenship in both the United States and in Peru, where he served as a missionary priest and bishop for nearly 20 years. And then he obtained Peruvian citizenship in 2015. So, certainly, there were questions that were circulating in the Vatican about whether the Pope's U.S. citizenship would present a unique set of challenges during his tenure, and certainly that is being looked at on the federal level. Now, citizenship is a federal level action, but I just thought for those who are Catholic, that that would be something of interest to certainly bring up in conversation. But you can read all about it online. So, what else is going on? Well, there's a big announcement by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity to announce a quantum company called Inflection. Not spelled the way you would think it would be spelled, but they will headquarter its global quantum computing operations here in Illinois. So certainly that's quantum is I guess, a passion of the governor. And they are going to be the future tenant of the Illinois Quantum and Microelectronics Park. So this is expected a $50 million investment from them. The company will create dozens of new jobs, accelerating the growth of its hardware and software workforce, and cementing a major expansion of its presence in the state's innovation ecosystem. So certainly that's I think extremely exciting. Moving into the forward, moving forward in the future. So we have the States Manufacturing Illinois Chips for Real Opportunity Act. That's a program that helps develop a utility scale neutral atom quantum system, which includes design and development for the next generation. That's where this company fits in. So then, looking forward to working on some legislation in veto session. As I said, veto session is in October, 2 weeks in October. One of the bills that have just been filed by here in Aurora by State Representative Barbara Hernandez is a bill that looks to really create more transparency and accountability. What we have been seeing and is agents, federal agents wearing masks, covering up their faces, not identifying themselves. Um, Really, it's caused a lot of panic, and that's just not proper protocol. When an individual might get pulled over for a traffic stop, you have the officer has his name, has his badge clearly present, identifies himself as an officer, and there are protocols in place. What we're seeing is just a lack of protocols and over these anonymous ICE operations. And so what this legislation simply does is to follow what police officers already do, and it bars wearing masks that cover your face. It mandates that you have to clearly display your name, your badge number in the agency on your uniform when you are interacting with the public. And so plainclothes agents conducting raids in unmarked vehicles is certainly a cause for concern. It is also cause for concern because then you can have what is called copycat crimes. So individuals mirroring what these federal agents are doing by not by wearing masks and engaging in the same behavior, but they're not law enforcement, and it's very difficult to figure out who is and who isn't. Of course, there's exception if they are doing active undercover assignment, but that is not what we're seeing. So if they're interacting with the public, arresting the public, which is fine, they just need to be unmasked, have their name, badge number, and agency in which they're working for readily available for the public. It's kind of common sense. And then there is a proposal to expand midwifery to combat maternal care deserts. So we do have a shortage of maternal health care across the Illinois and looking to allow advanced practice registered nurses to get certified in midwifery to perform home births if they have a collaboration agreement with a physician or a health facility. Certainly, this is a bill that is looking at where the healthcare deserts are and how we can help provide better care for the mother and in the birth of the child. So that bill was just filed this this month as well. Certainly that is well needed. And then Illinois, we were talking a little bit about 988. 988 is the mental health line. It's a suicide and crisis lifeline, vital resources for those individuals in emotional distress. There was some talk about LGBTQ youth and individuals not being able to have a individual that is trained in their unique circumstances. Illinois, so we have reaffirmed our commitment. There will be services available for individuals that call 988. And certainly, we want everybody to get the help, the mental help that they need in times of crisis or in times of struggles. So the 988 crisis line is there for individuals. And then we passed several laws about media literacy. We were the first state in the US to require media literacy instruction in public high schools. And so we're trying to figure out how that law is working and how the subject is being taught. And a recent University of Illinois Springfield survey found that about one-third of teachers dedicate more than one class period, but less than a week in media literacy. 29% spend over 3 weeks teaching it, and 16% cover it only one class period across the entire year. So trying to figure out how that comes into play and how schools are implementing the media literacy requirement. I just saw that Ellen jumped in. So good morning, Ellen. Thanks for joining us. And then a couple local stories. Again, not much as we transition from July into August, but Aurora welcomes rescue animals from Texas floods. So in a display of compassion and coordination, rescue animals from Texas arrived at the Aurora Municipal airport this past Thursday after devastating floods displaced countless of pets across the region. The emergency transport mission brought dozens of cats and dogs to safety where they are now being cared for by the shelters here in Illinois. Certainly we have Anderson Humane Shelter in King County, which took more than a dozen of the rescued animal, and organizations along with several other local shelters have stepped up. So certainly if you're interested in adopting a pet, please go to the animal shelters and check it out. Also, there is a rise in individuals during these tough economic times who can no longer afford their pet. And so there are loving pets in the shelter all the time, and certainly they need a good home. Now, last year, the state of Illinois used to collect grocery taxes and then just pass it on to the local municipalities. So the state of Illinois canceled that program. And so now each individual town has to look at their individual circumstances, whether they want to reinstate the grocery tax locally. This is the same grocery tax that was being administered statewide. It's just now going to be administered locally. And the city of Aurora postponed the decision to extend this grocery tax. It generates roughly about $4.5 million annually for the city. So certainly the new mayor, John Lash, has voiced concerns over the city's financial state since taking office. And that is on the local city level now. It's not on the state level anymore. And then Will County, there's a Will County Sheriff lieutenant that was fired following an internal investigation. Gregory Walker, a 65-year-old Crest Hill man, was fatally shot in 2022, and internal investigation was looked into. Lieutenant John Allen shot and killed Walker, who had taken a woman hostage, but had already surrendered to law enforcement when he was fatally shot. Certainly that really looks at the ongoing work of law enforcement oversight, transparency, and reform. And Will County did an independent review and relieved him of his duties. Now, with these storms we're having, again, our mosquitoes, I think I talked about mosquitoes last week. So we have the third human West Nile virus case in Illinois confirmed in DuPage County, and health officials confirmed Illinois' third case of West Nile virus this year. Again, that's spread by mosquitoes. Most people contacted experience no symptoms. However, rare cases can lead to serious illness, especially in individuals over 50 and those with weakened immune systems. So certainly that's something that you need to always be careful of throughout the summer months. But now that it's been raining quite a bit, certainly make sure that you don't have standing water around, and always, that can breed mosquitoes as well. So certainly that's something to look into. And then what else is going on? SNAP benefits. So SNAP, their nutritional benefits from the federal government. We're looking at the bill and dissecting the large bill that was passed by Congress, and it's looking like we will see reduced SNAP benefits under the bill that was passed, and it's something that we are keeping an eye on how it affects Illinois. But I mean, it is just gonna it certainly is going to see reduced SNAP benefits. So it looks like the legislation removes work requirement exemptions for 23,000 unhoused veterans or youth aged out of foster care in Illinois. So that they could have been exempt from the work requirement. They're not anymore. And then it looks like they will get reduced benefits under the federal bill. So right now, about 23,000 individuals. So looking to see, always looking and getting updates on how the bill unfolds. Like I said, it is a process how the departments are now going to administer the bill as it's been passed, and we will get direction and clarification come down to the state level. So that is a lot of what's going on. And then finally, we will wrap up this update with the uh, city of Naperville. So, city of Naperville was in the news of quite a bit. So they are on track to eliminate all remaining lead water service lines by 2029. That's ahead of the federal deadline set by the U.S. EPA. So the city is currently replacing 68 lead service lines in 2025. Once the work is complete, only 207 lead lines will remain. So the city actually has more than 42,000 total service lines. So lead service lines are the pipes that connect your city's water mains to the homes and the businesses. These are primarily found in the older part, the more historical part of the town. So certainly you can go on the City of Naperville's website to look at this initiative, but it's a larger part to eliminate the threat of lead contamination in drinking water systems. Lead contamination can lead to developmental disabilities in children and a lot of other sicknesses. So, certainly, this is something that is vital and very important. And then finally, leaving off with Naperville. Naperville is the number 19th of safest places to live in the U.S. list compiled by U.S. News and World Report. So, congratulations, Naperville being number 19. Now, this week I said that I am on the Conference of State Governments Midwest Conference here in Saskatoon, Canada. And then right off of that is the National Conference of State Legislators, where I serve on the Military Veterans Affairs Task Force. So I am going to go to that conference the week after this one. So certainly a busy 2 weeks of professional development. I spearhead and sit on that task force for military veterans and families, and we look at what other states are doing to support our those that are serving and those that are here in the state of Illinois. Again, we have three bases: Rock Island Arsenal, we have Great Lakes, and we also have Scott Air Force Base. So certainly learn a lot that we can bring back to the state of Illinois with regard to legislation and professional development. But the National Conference of State Legislatures are from all over the nation. The conference I'm at today is the Midwest Conference. So we're looking at our neighboring states. We're looking and connecting with Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, here in Canada as part of the CSG Midwest. So really enjoying my time here. So I encourage you to look at Saskatoon, Canada. They are a major trading partner with Illinois. We do have a memorandum of understanding that was signed by Governor Pritzker last year to, work together. So with that, have a great weekend. Stay cool, stay dry, and I am off to opening sessions. So take care, have a great day, and have a wonderful week ahead of you. And hope that I will give you an update next week from NCSL. Take care, all.